What's something that people think makes them look cool but actually has the opposite effect? Hating all genres of music except the one they like. I learned this the hard way by only liking heavy metal and shitting on all other music without giving a chance as a teen. Metal's still my favorite, but all genres have good music. Honestly, I've seen far more elitism in the metal community than any other music genre I've been involved in. It's a shame because metalheads are usually some of the most chilled, open-minded people you could find, until you start talking about music. I have been guilty of this in the past. Kids bragging about their parents' wealth and success. Man. People who say, well, my parent is blah blah blah, like they know or can do the same things the parents can, really gets under my skin. Edit. Hey, I finally noticed it was my cake day before 11 p.m. Thanks everyone. Story. When I was in like 6th grade on the school bus, someone said something and brought attention to me. This girl exclaims, "EW, you have lice." To which I respond, "No I don't, it's dandruff." And she comes back with, "No, it's lice, my mom's a hairstylist." And all I could say was, "So." Then went back to sleep as best I could. It's not that they're trying to tell you they can do the same stuff. It's that they want you to defer to them like royalty because their parents are important and powerful. I taught HS and MS for 7 years. That shit happened pretty routinely. The worst part of it was that it typically worked because of community politics. You don't want to upset the kid of rich parents or parents who are connected to the right people. I had a kid once who was the adopted son of 2 successful attorneys. He was always bragging about his family's wealth and their multiple vacation homes. One time during a parent-teacher conference, the kid all but admitted that the reason he always had several $1,000s in cash on him at any given time, despite his parents taking away his credit and debit cards and cutting off his $400 per week allowance, was because he was selling drugs at school. But we were told, in no uncertain terms by our principal, not to investigate that if we valued our jobs. Sure enough, he got busted off campus selling cocaine a couple of weeks later and went to UV. When people play their music loud at the gas pumps. I recently saw a woman leave her toddler in the car with the crappy music blasting to the point that it was uncomfortable and unpleasant for everyone else pumping gas while she went into the store. Felt bad for that child. My ex did this with our kids. I had to sit her down and explain what was inappropriate about it. She seems to honestly not know it looked more white trash than cool. She's white trash. One-upping and putting other people down to make yourself look good. Rife in white-collar job. I despise people who do it. Yeah, hate it when people do it to look good. They should just act normal and put people down to feel good. Crying in corner. Oh you, dude, what's wrong? Me, sniff asterisk, my grandma died. Oh you, puts hand on shoulder asterisk, dude, both my grandmas are dead. I've been into the import tuna scene for close to 20 years at this point. Now this was more a style of the time, say 15 years ago. Backwards upside down visor hats. WTF. Why was that a thing? It'd make more sense to walk around with an onion tied to your belt. They think so fast their brain needs a spoiler. Gotta spoil that laminar flow somehow. Having a phone conversation on a loudspeaker in public. Or blasting shitty music from a cheap oversaturated BT speaker on public transport. We get it. Negative attention is also attention. But taking over a public space with your edginess is just being an asshole. My parents have recently discovered speakerphone and refuse to believe there is such a thing as speakerphone etiquette. I'll be talking to them and all of a sudden I'll hear, "So do we know what we want to order?" And I realize they've been holding this entire conversation on speakerphone in a restaurant, surrounded by people trying to enjoy their dinner. Oh, and I have thought that my parents are the only one. The absolutely worst case they had done it was when there were a family's friends staying at their place. Parents called me and haven't mentioned anything about being on speaker. They told me about having a last night full of drinking and some stuff. So I asked whether it was okay because one of their guests is quite aggressive and unpleasant when she drinks. And yeah, she was sitting next to them, monsieur. They went like, but hun, she is sitting next to us. You are being, am I being? You are the ones that brings personal talks to the table. I still felt ashamed AF even though what I said was true. Judging random people and making fun of the less fortune. No, you're not cool. You're a dick, shitting on things other people like. We all have stuff we don't like. But if you spend all your time putting down everything a person is interested in, you don't look cool, Reggie. You look like a dick with no interests. And GT, shitting on things other people like. And often it's preceded by the question, am I the only person? Quote, as though the dislike makes them special. Am I the only person with this common opinion? I'm not sure if this is just an Australian thing. But people who rev their cars, motorbikes really loud. And it's usually quite late at night while most people are trying to sleep. Guess it's a thing worldwide. Yeah, assholism isn't country specific, being assholes without a reason. I really hate that this is me. From a young age I've always been an asshole to pretty much all of my friends, and now as I'm getting older I'm realizing how much of an asshole I am, and I really hate it, and a lot of the time I really try to stop, but it's become so much of a habit that it's really hard. I know that it could be adolescence, and I've always struggled with dealing with my emotions. Especially anger, because I lash out at things almost instantaneously. I really hate it and I'm aware of it, it's just really hard to stop. Edit. Thank you everyone so much for all the support. His sounds so cringy, but thank you so much, it has genuinely made me feel quite happy. Being self-aware is the first step to self-improvement. You're on the right path. Weed, it's fun and all, but it's not a goddamn personality. But, XX_Pushmaster420_XX has entered the chat. Being into zodiac signs and using him as an excuse for any of their unlikable behavior. Did you see how I snapped on that waiter? I'm sorry, but Mercury is in retrograde and this Cancer doesn't have time for his shit. Oh, that's cancerous, alright. People who come out with life lessons and quotes. They think they are so profound and deep, but I think they come off as big-headed and stupid. My ex puts his own quotes in his Facebook profile picture every month, including the date he said it. It's one of the cringiest things I've seen. He's doing a PhD in philosophy. I study philosophy and it's where I've met some of the most arrogant men in my life. One once lent me a book with poems by T.S. Eliot, and it was full of his handwritten notes correcting some of Eliot's poems with better suited words. I couldn't believe my eyes. Grown women who use baby talk to other adults in normal conversation. No, you are not cute or cool or whatever the hell you think you are, weirdo. You would hate Korea. We don't like it too, unless they're very cute. And even then, we like them for how cute they look, not the way they talk. How much they can drink before passing out. Wow, man fucking applause to you. Great achievement. I'm glad that I get drunk fast because it saves me money. Having a side chick, girl, guy, especially in some Instagram comedy, cringe sketches where it's relatable jokes. No, it's not funny or cool to cheat on your significant other, you're trash. When you try to play it cool by not immediately answering the texts of someone you're interested in, just makes you look disinterested. Okay, I used to not get this. But when you text someone and they take 30 minutes to respond, it always feels weird responding 10 seconds later. I actually got put down by a Tinder match for my quick responses. I mean, I'm right next to my phone. Why should I have to make power moves with someone I'm interested in? A lot of Redditors seem to think that stolen witty one-liners make them look like the patron gods of debate and reason. The next time I see someone say, I came for a battle of wits but it seems you came unarmed, unironically, I will set their house on fire and then myself. I came for a battle of wits but it seems you came unarmed. Be right back, going to fire store. Boasting about having psychiatric issues. Edit. To clarify, bragging about self-diagnosed or pretending to have mental issues. People literally brag about their depression like they're talking about their phone new features. Like, well, my depressions comes with self-hatred and no motivation. God, I hate the romanticization of mental illness and especially depression since I have chronic and long-term MDD. There's nothing cool or cute about having to live with an invisible illness that society doesn't understand and treats it like, well, we all get depressed at one point. Bragging about accomplishments, no matter how little, is fine, though. I'm sure people disagree but meh, whatever. ETA, okay, some people seem to think I'm against some with an illness joking about it.